Oh, excuse me. Just trying to find something real quick. Oh, by the way, the topic for this week is find your property. I'll get right back with y'all as I look for what I'm trying to find. Thank y'all for coming back. I found what I needed to find. Finding your property. And I know it sounds kind of easy. You know, you ride up and down the street, you see the property of your dreams, and you pull over, you're like, man, I want to buy this. But then you're like, wait a minute, I got to call this realtor? Then do I have a realtor? Am I pre-qualified? Can I afford this? Can I fix this? Let me call my Uncle Junior. You know, we all had that family member that we think we could call. Well, man, let me call my mother. If my mother say it's good, it's all right, because we love mama, don't we? But if mama come there and say this is a waste of time, I don't understand why you're doing it, we probably won't do it. We say that with our friends and girlfriends. Oh, you know what? I'm going to stop right here. I've developed this community. Not used to. I developed this community. And I thought that I found the perfect properties. I bought 66 of them. Don't laugh at me, because one day you're going to be here and you're going to sit back and tell this story to somebody. I bought 66 of these properties. I don't know if my ego was inflated, my bravado was, or I was just crazy. But what I did know, it was still tied to my why. What I also knew is there was going to be a lot of heavy lifting. What I also knew is that I wanted to make a difference. So when I found these properties, it's like they just kept falling. I found one, then one showed up, and then it came to be 60. And when I looked up, I was $3.5 million in debt. Trying to figure out how the hell and I'm gonna get out of this. And there's another story that ties into this. And I think I told y'all that in my 20s and 30s I was incarcerated. And I think, and maybe I didn't, I shared with y'all my last day in court, the judge offered me 70 years. And I thought about that. I asked him, how can I do 70 years? And he told me one day at a time. It probably was the most profound thing I've ever heard in my life up to that point. So let's use that profoundness in a positive way now. Find one property at a time. Take your time. If you don't find it today, one day at a time. Don't be anxious. Don't be overly cautious. I don't know if you remember from last week, we talked about mentorship, and we talked about building a team. We talked about being encouraged. We talked about being supported in our why. We talked about maintaining our focus. So when you venture out and find your property, take all of those tools with you. And I think we talked about that the first week, the tool bag. Take all of those tools with you. Remember everything that we've talked about thus far when you venture out to find your own property. Because that's as that judge told me, one day at a time. Take your time. It's one day at a time. Don't forget to connect. Don't forget to do that. There's not a whole lot more that I can say about this because it's just that simple. Find your property. Find a competent realtor. Make sure your lending is, in sync with this property and the rehab process. Build your budget. And just stay vigilant and focused. center yourself in your why, because if not, you'll be all over the place, allowing somebody else to dictate to you like the judge almost dictated to me my sentence. Stay focused. See you next week.